in 경기장 도시형.
Okay, guys, so here we are in the bottom left-hand corner of Sakura's Plateau. We have our green Terran player hailing from the team NSHoSeo. That is Sculp. He has taken 2 games from his opponents in StarTale. Down here at the bottom right-hand corner, their representative is our red Protoss player. That is Ace.
Yep, StarTale Ace coming in to try to get a win for StarTale, and they need it. They're down 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
Or 0-2, I should say. And this is a good map for Protoss versus Terran. Yeah, it's got a lot of ways that Protoss can kind of abuse things here and there. The Blink can be abused, Warp Prisms can be abused, and this is a good kind of abuse. This is the kind of abuse that wins games, so that's good.
This is not the kind of abuse you report to the police or you complain that someone fell down the stairs. No, this is good kind of abuse.
It's not the kind of abuse where people are like throwing cats out of windows or things like that. This is a good kind of abuse.
Yes, yes. Probably the only good kind of abuse. All right, so here we go. Let's see here what Ace is going to roll after.
An awkward line of conversation that was.
It was, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
I'm just imagining chat flipping tables now. Okay, so we're going to see what Sculp's going to move into, if he's going to go ahead and put up. He has been going after this 13 barracks for quite a while now, rallying that 12th SEV up to the front. He's done this every game, actually.
Yep, the 12th man. There he goes
Yep.
to build a barracks.
Boom.
And he has begun to build it. Where do you think they keep the little, like, modular things for the buildings? I mean, do they have, like, a giant cartoon pocket or something like that? I don't know. I've always wondered. It's kind of weird. It's like, bam, building.
Especially command centers, no less, with how quickly they spread down to the bottom. So I like it. I hope so, as a matter of fact.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
All right. Looks like Sculp has actually bypassed gas for the time being. This is a pretty good map to do the gasless FE and throw down one bunker up at the front. You can guard that pretty small choke point into your natural, and then you can pretty much spam out barracks for a little while.
Oh, I hate this. Just let him build the building, man. Come on. Whenever I play Protoss and I do that, I'm like, haha, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm sorry.
This is so BM. I apologize.
No, it's actually a really good thing for Protoss players to do. I mean, just to be able to put that extra kind of mental strain on your opponent early in the game. I mean, it's something that you can deal with fairly easily, but just having to do it, and if you're not careful with it, you can lose an SCV. You just get in this bad mental state right at the start of a game. So yeah, every Protoss should do it, but I hate them for it.
and once again, like our game the other day, I'm sure you want to see him die.
That's right. I hope he does. I hope that probe dies a slow, painful death. I hope he's like roasted by a Hellion or something like that.
Yes. Now, you said Hellion because you just secretly want to see Mech.
Oh, well, that's true, too.
I don't think it's actually a secret.
I don't think we're going to, that's no big secret. I don't think we're going to see Mech out of Ace, though. He's not the type of player to do that a whole lot. There's the Nexus for Ace.
Yeah. And Sculp, I mean, he's shown that he has pretty ridiculous biocontrol. So, I mean, I imagine that's the path we're going to head down. But yeah, 1 gate expand out of Ace. He's actually doing a similar thing where he decided to pull workers off of gas for a little while so he could have exactly enough to start the warp gate research and make sure he got out his Nexus as quick as possible.
Yeah, you know, one thing that I kind of noticed about Sculp in his first TVP we watched is that he didn't really react to the Colossi coming out. He just kind of tried to power through it with bio. So if I was... Oh, and another fast command center from Sculp as well. That's cool.
Wow.
But if I was Ace, what I would do is just some really solid standard Colossus timings. Because it's going to be something that, and then just kind of continue on for Colossus for a while. And there's a Robo Bay early, so I think Ace may be thinking the same thing, that a good, strong Colossus timing would do quite well against Sculp, since the first game he kind of showed that he wasn't really reacting to the Colossi by making some Vikings. So we'll see what Ace has in mind, but I think that's something that would work pretty well against Sculp, based on kind of his earlier performance.
And because he's going for an exceptionally greedy build right now as well.
That's right, too. He's not going to have upgrades. He's going to have a lot of Marines, which aren't terribly good against early Colossus timing. So I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, like a 2 Colossus timing or something along those lines is going to hit just as his upgrades are in progress, and that could actually be pretty deadly. So we'll see what ends up happening there. But okay, so Sculp now finally adding first and second gas at the same time that he gets his 4th rack. So this was kind of a variation of that 1 rack's gasless FE into 4 racks, but it involved another command center in the process as well. So kind of a interesting but very, very greedy build out of Sculp.
Yeah, really bold to try something like this on Sakura's Plateau. I'm really, really excited to see how this is all going to work out. Well, quite cool.
We're going to find out here in a bit. Hopefully this looks like this could turn into a pretty compelling game, to be honest. Of course, Ace, if he doesn't decide to expand for a while, that macro CC, which will eventually become a 3rd down at the pocket, will actually pay for itself very, very quickly. So, you know, Ace is going to have his timings, but Sculp, he's shown to be a macro monster already. He could go right back into that.
Well, Ace, like many Protoss players, does like his timings. He is going to put down a Forge and a Twilight Council, though.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see kind of what comes out of that. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see some sort of, you know, charge lot or blink play or something like that. And he may decide to just go into DTs as well. I mean, he could easily make a Warp Prism out of that robotics facility and go for something like a DT drop, too.
Okay, well, here comes Sculp moving out right away. These drops are certainly a possibility, as you said. The engineering bay is already there, though, and he has plenty of scans for on his orbital command, so don't think he'll take too much damage right away, but it will certainly be something he has to pay attention to. There's +1. Let's see if we get our first inclination of tech now out of Ace.
Oh,
and
Templar.
whoa!
Nice.
Very fast Templar archives.
Cool. That's going to be interesting too. You know, one of the things a lot of Protoss players have been playing around with is keeping those Templar in a Warp Prism too. So he still could use that Robo for something like that. Otherwise, just kind of making a bunch of observers to have really good map vision is perfectly fine too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just using your Robo for that in this case as well.
And, oh, here we go. The Marines are making their way in. Is +1 weapons finished? Let's see. No, it is not. And these Marines are getting torn up by the Protoss units.
Nice target firing, though, taking out 2 of the 3 sentries. That definitely makes losing those Marines worthwhile. It's something you'd ever want to do, but you notice how he targeted down the sentries and then just made a run for the Protoss base to try to pull the units back. Yeah, really nice little engagement from Sculp, even though I'm sure it wasn't one that he really wanted to do at that time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Marine does scout the
Stalker's
third base
freaking
coming
out.
up. I can't get up there. I can't get up there. And it looks like that Marine just running away as long as possible. Nice job to keep that alive. And let's see back here for Sculp. He's prepared against DTs up at the front. He's got plenty of scans available. He is well saturated on his bases because he has 50 SCVs and 3 mules already at the 9.5-minute mark.
Yep. Observer kind of checking things out. Space Squid doing its thing.
We're just going to see the command center transferring over.
Yep. That's right. A lot of gateways being added on for Ace as well. He is a player that loves his big gateway timings, and of course, you know, he will need a couple extra for the Templar anyway.
Yes.
But this is cool. I mean, we're seeing a lot more of this 2-base Templar play. He did just take his third as well. Okay, there's a Warp Prism too. So yeah, I think we are going to see him kind of try to protect those Templar in a Warp Prism. We'll have to see. I mean, he might just use it for harassment, but on a map like Shakuris Plateau, I think that's pretty good. You can drop your Templar behind their army and storm them as they try to engage.
Yeah, so I definitely like that. I mean, it also keeps away those fragile units out of the range of EMPs. You know, depending on if you can hang the Warp Prism back long enough for the Ghost to start, you know, expelling their damage initially. And let's see here. 4 High Templar down. They're pretty high on energy, and they're all running in towards the Warp Prism.
Yep. Could also just do Warp Prism drop as well.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, Ace doesn't have a ton of units out there, but admittedly, neither does his opponent, really. So we're going to see. This is going to be a pretty even fight. What is the upgrade war at, though? We have +1 weapons for our Terran. We have just +1 weapons for our Protoss.
Yep. And here we go. Is he going to be able to maybe drop those on the high ground? A bit of storm action. Yeah, that's what he's going to do, dropping 1 off.
All right, pushing back that Terran right away. There's the storm. Does hit quite a few units.
Yeah, keeping those Templars safe with the Warp Prism. I love this type of play. I think this is something we're going to see a lot more of as StarCraft 2 progresses here.
Sure.
And I don't know, things pretty even up right now. It's supply advantage for Sculp. We'll have to see if Ace can take him out. He might lose this third, but those units also might be trapped as well. A lot going on the map right now.
Yes, there is, as a matter of fact. Okay, so these units for Sculp are actually getting super low at the moment, and it looks like he'll be able to delay long enough to get a few charge lots in to actually take that out. Zealot's actually running to the front, killing the economy over at the third, though.
Yeah, that helps quite a bit. He is going to be able to clean up that drop quite nicely with those storms. Really good play so far from Ace.
Yeah, he's actually playing this so clean right now, and he is actually at a huge advantage over his opponent right now because that third basically died. I mean, the orbital command is still there, but most of the SCVs went down. That is a huge hit to economy. At the same time, very high tech coming forward now for Ace.
Oh, this is cool, too. I mean, after doing that, he turns the Templar into Archon, starts Robotics Bay, and look at that. Ghost upgrades on the way for Sculp. So he may actually just trick Sculp into going Ghost and then hit him with Colossus.
Yeah.
Really nice switch here by Ace.
And we'll see. There's 2 Warp Prisms now out on the field. The one with the High Templar, I think it's still with the Army. Yes. And then there's one with 4 Zealots actually making its way down around the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, Ace is one of those players that he's kind of been sitting in the shadows, if you will, of the StarTale team. He comes out every once in a while, plays a game or two, and then he goes back to his plotting. So I really feel like Ace is going to be one of those players that's going to end up doing well in the GSL in the future at some point. Not right now, but sometime in the future. We'll have to kind of see.
All right, Zealots dropping in with a round of Warpins as well. It's going to force a bunch of units stemmed back for Sculp. And Ace will probably have his moment to run right through the front here in just a bit. Looks like a couple of supply depots have fallen down. And here we go. There's the engagement through the front.
Nice storms again from those Templar. The Archons as well are going to help quite a bit. Not enough medevacs to really keep that bio healed up. A little bit of a storm whiff there, but oh man, those Zealots are still doing damage.
Yes, they are. And we do finally have a couple of ghosts out now. Another round of Warpins, and that Warp Prism is actually going to stay up. So those charge lots are making their way in and just doing so much damage. The third is actually being denied by the Archons, and this situation is getting very bad for Sculp. He is now half the supply of his opponent.
Yeah, Ace is actually just totally picking Sculp apart, kind of like that Marauder, falling into multiple pieces. And yeah, I think Ace has this game. I mean, he played really creatively. His control was amazing with Templar. And just kind of destroying Sculp here. I mean, this is pretty one-sided.
And especially as well as Sculp played in the first 2 games, knocking out a Code S player in the mix as well. You know, I don't want to say it was necessarily a surprising result, but, you know, given the way that Sculp was playing, Ace just really outclassing him this game.
Well, the thing is that even if Sculp somehow miraculously holds this off, Ace is going to come right back with a Colossus push. I mean, he's got upgrades on the way. He's making his Colossi. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Sculp is just pretty dead right now.
Yes, he is. Here comes the 4 Archon hit squad through the front now. And with +2 weapons, the damage output on those units is ridiculous, especially against all the bio forces that are on the ground.
That's what I ever see when they see Archons firing.
And on top of this, Sculp is actually about supply blocked as well, and he's got to invest in infrastructure here in a second when he absolutely does not want to.
Losing a lot of supply depots like that doesn't help at all. I mean, it's 53 supply to 125 right now. Those meals are not going to last very long. There's the GGO from Sculp.